The night Lego stopped making noise, Seyi knew something was wrong. It was too quiet. No honking, no shouting, no music booming from street corners. Just the sound of the wind brushing against his helmet and the low hum of his Okada's engine. Seyi was used to chaos. He lived for it. The fast rides, the close calls, the chase for customers. But tonight felt different. Even the air tasted strange, like hot smoke and secrets. He had just dropped off a last-minute passenger in Yaba and was heading home. His fuel tank was almost empty. His eyes were heavy, and Mama had warned him. No night riding, Seyi. Evil things wear human faces at midnight. He laughed at the thought. Mama believed in too many scary stories. Then he saw him. A man stood in the middle of Third Mainland Bridge. Alone. No car, no bike. Just him. He wore a white shirt, soaked red, like he'd spilled paint. Or blood. Seyi slowed down. Something inside him said don't stop. But another voice, stronger, louder, said, "This is Lagos. People need help. Be a man." He stopped. The man didn't say a word. He just got on the bike. "Where to, boss?" Seyi asked, trying to sound calm. The man whispered, "Take me to the place where the water forgets." Seyi blinked. "Sorry? I didn't catch that." But the man said nothing more. Seyi frowned. "All right," he muttered, and started the engine. As they rode into the night, strange things began to happen. The bridge, usually full of cars even at midnight, was empty. The streetlights flickered, then went out. The moon disappeared behind clouds. And the air got colder, much colder. Seyi felt goosebumps crawl up his arms. He wanted to say something to the man behind him, but fear sat on his tongue. Then the Okada began to slow down on its own. Seyi pressed the throttle. Nothing. He tried again. Still nothing. The bike came to a full stop in the middle of the bridge. No fuel warning. No engine sound. Just silence. Complete, heavy silence. He turned to the man. But no one was there. The seat behind him was empty. Seyi jumped off the bike, heart thudding like a drum. He looked left. Right. Behind. Nothing. No sign of the man. No blood stains. Not even a wet shoe print. His hands shook. His breath came fast. He tried to restart the bike. It wouldn't budge. He took out his phone to call anyone. No network. No bars. Then his phone rang. Unknown number. He picked it up. "You shouldn't have stopped," the voice said. Low. Cold. Like the voice was whispering straight into his skull. Click. The call ended. Seyi threw the phone. It bounced once and slid across the bridge. He stood frozen. Then footsteps. Slow, dragging footsteps behind him. He spun around. No one. But the footsteps kept coming, getting closer. Then he heard breathing. Shallow, raspy breathing right behind his ear. He screamed and turned around, still no one. But his Okada was now facing the other direction. And someone was sitting on it. The same man. His head was down. His shirt still red. But now, Seyi saw something he hadn't noticed before. The man had no shadow. Seyi backed away. "Please," he whispered. "What do you want from me?" The man looked up. His eyes weren't eyes. Just empty, black holes. "Take me," he said again, "to the place where the water forgets." Seyi couldn't move. Couldn't think. Suddenly, the man vanished. Right in front of him. Gone. Like smoke in the wind. Then the engine roared to life. By itself. Seyi didn't wait. He jumped on the bike and sped off the bridge, heart pounding like thunder, eyes wide with fear. When he finally reached the mainland, the city was normal again. Cars honked. Music played. People laughed. Like nothing had happened. He stopped at a roadside stall, gasping for breath. A woman selling gala and Coke looked at him. "You look like you saw a ghost," she joked. Seyi didn't laugh. He didn't say a word. He just looked at the back of his bike. A single red feather lay on the seat. Bright, fresh, and very, very real. Seyi didn't sleep that night. He sat on the edge of his mattress, staring at the feather. Red, soft, still smelling faintly of smoke. He didn't know what it meant. But deep down, something told him this wasn't over. The next morning, Mama noticed. "You didn't sleep," she said softly, handing him a cup of hot pap. "I'm fine," he replied, lying with his eyes. Mama watched him, her eyes sharp, seeing everything. "You look like someone who touched something they shouldn't," she whispered. "What did you see?" Seyi didn't answer, because he didn't know how to answer. A ghost? A dream? A warning? Instead, he stood up and grabbed his helmet. "I'm going out." Mama grabbed his arm. Tight. "Go to church first," she said. "Even if it's for 5 minutes. Just go." Seyi nodded, just to make her let go. But he had no plans for church. He needed answers. And someone had to know something. He rode to Mushin, a place where stories were loud and the streets never slept. That was where he met the boy. Small. Maybe 10 years old. Dirty feet. Torn shorts. Standing on top of a wooden stool, preaching. People stood around him, laughing, clapping, throwing coins. But the moment Seyi arrived, the boy stopped laughing. He stared at Seyi, right into his eyes. Then he spoke in a voice too deep for his small body. "You carried the one who should not be carried," he said. The crowd went silent. Seyi froze. The boy stepped down slowly, eyes never leaving his. "You saw him on the bridge, didn't you?" Seyi's throat went dry. "How do you know that?" The boy didn't blink. "He's looking for the place. The place where the water forgets." Seyi's stomach twisted. "What is that place?" The boy looked up at the sky, then back at Seyi. "It's where broken souls go when the land rejects them." Seyi shook his head. "I don't understand." The boy leaned closer and whispered, "Neither did I, until he came to me in a dream and touched my chest with fire." Suddenly, the boy grabbed Seyi's hand and placed it on his own chest. It was hot, like something was burning under his skin. Seyi yanked his hand back. The boy's eyes began to water. "He's not done with you," he said. "He left something behind. Something dark." "What do you mean?" Seyi asked. The boy opened his mouth, and flames danced on his tongue. Not fake. Real fire. People screamed and backed away. The boy collapsed. Seyi tried to catch him, but the boy's body hit the ground with a loud thud. Still, unmoving. Someone shouted, "Witch? Witch child?" Another yelled, "He's possessed." The crowd panicked and scattered. Seyi stood there, heart pounding, staring at the boy on the ground. But when he looked again, the boy was gone. No body, no ashes, no coins, nothing. Like he had never existed. Seyi sat on his Okada, breathing hard, hand still tingling from the boy's heat. Was he losing his mind? Or was something truly following him? He reached into his pocket for his phone to call someone. Maybe Deli, maybe even Pastor Chuka. But instead of his phone, he pulled out the red feather. He had left it at home, hadn't he? His skin crawled. Suddenly, a text appeared on his phone screen. "Take me to the place where the water forgets." No name, no number, just the words. Again. Seyi gripped his handlebars, eyes wide, fear crawling up his spine like a snake. And in the mirror, just for a second, he saw him again. The man from the bridge, sitting quietly behind him, smiling. Seyi didn't go home that night. He couldn't. Every time he looked in his mirror, he saw the man. Not always fully. Just a glimpse, a shadow, a face in the reflection, a red feather floating behind him. But it was always there. So he rode, all through the night, past closing shops, silent streets, sleeping dogs. Just him, his bike, and fear riding shotgun. By morning, he found himself at the edge of Ajagunal, a place where hope and hunger wore the same face. There was only one person left to talk to, Baba Osi. He wasn't family. He wasn't even a friend. But Baba Osi had power. And power, in places like this, meant you knew things other people didn't. Baba Osi's compound was deep inside a maze of alleys that smelled like smoke and secrets. He had a scar that ran from his forehead to his jaw, and eyes like broken glass. "Na you dem call ghost boy?" Baba Osi asked, squinting at Seyi. Seyi frowned. Who called me that? Baba Osi chuckled darkly. Your name dawned travel faster than your tires. Seyi hesitated, then said, something followed me. From the bridge. A man. A spirit. I think he's inside me now. Baba Osi raised a brow. Inside? He poured dry palm kernels into a clay bowl and set it on fire. The flames danced, then turned blue. Look. Seyi stared into the bowl. At first, nothing. Then images. His Okada on the bridge. The ghost man climbing on. The red feather floating. Then something new. A small shrine. A wooden idol covered in soot and blood. A sack of torn naira notes tied at its feet. What's that? Seyi whispered. Baba Osi's face darkened. That is the shrine of Omoijo, the water god's rejected son. He feeds on forgotten souls and broken promises. Seyi looked confused. What does that have to do with me? Baba Osi leaned closer. You took a passenger who doesn't belong to this world, and now he's attached to you because you're like him. A broken promise. Seyi flinched. I'm not like him. Baba Osi smiled. But you are. Then he dropped something into Seyi's hand. A coin. Old. Heavy. One side was blank. The other had a single word. Choose. What do I do with this? Seyi asked. Tonight, go to the river at midnight. Toss the coin in. But be warned, whichever side lands up, you must obey what follows. Seyi looked down at the coin. It felt hot in his palm. He left Baba Osi's compound with more questions than answers. That evening, as the sun began to drown behind smoky clouds, Seyi went to fuel up. He hadn't worked all day, and he was broke. As he counted his coins, a sleek black car pulled up beside him. The window rolled down. It was Major Chief, a local big man with too much money and not enough mercy. He grinned, gold teeth flashing. Seyi boy, long time. Seyi swallowed. Good evening, sir. Chief leaned back. Still doing Okada? You're wasting your life. Come work for me. Small errands, easy cash. Big rewards. Seyi shook his head. I'm not into that life. Chief laughed. But that life is already into you. You think spirits haunt ordinary boys? You have a gift, my son. Don't waste it on rides and fuel. Use it. Serve someone who can protect you. He tossed a bundle of cash into Seyi's hand. Seyi stared at it. So many naira notes, but all torn. Fix your life, Chief said, or someone else will fix it for you. The car drove off. Seyi stood there, clutching the broken money. His heart thundered in his chest. Another choice. Another shadow. Another weight. That night, Seyi walked to the edge of the Odo River, the place Lagos had tried to forget. He stood at the water's edge, cold wind whispering in his ears. He held the coin from Baba Osi in one hand and the torn naira from Chief in the other. The water was dark, still, waiting. He took a deep breath, kissed the coin and threw it. It spun in the air and disappeared beneath the surface. Seyi waited. Nothing happened. Then, a hand shot out of the river. Pale, thin, dripping black water. It pointed at him, and a voice, low, deep, not human, rose from the depths. You made your choice. Now carry the weight. Seyi's knees gave out. The feather floated down beside him. The river rippled, and somewhere in the dark, a new passenger was waiting. They say ghosts don't sweat, but Seyi was soaked. Not from the rain. It hadn't rained all night. From fear. From running. From knowing something had changed after he threw the coin into the river. That voice, that hand from the water, it had touched something inside him. He didn't tell Mama. She already looked at him like she was praying silently whenever he entered the room. Instead, he told her he was going for a short ride. But deep down, Seyi knew he was going back. Back to the bridge. Back to the place where it all started. The road was almost empty. No music. No traffic. Just Lagos breathing quietly like it was watching him. He reached the bridge around 2 a.m. The moon hung low and yellow, like an eye refusing to blink. He slowed his bike, then stopped. Nothing. No shadows. No figures. No voice. Just wind. Maybe it's over. Maybe he had made the right choice. He turned to start his bike again and saw the man, backseat, sitting calmly. No sound. No movement. Just him. Same red-stained shirt. Same hollow eyes. Same scent of wet smoke. "You came back," the man said. Seyi didn't scream this time. He just sat there, frozen. The man leaned closer. "I never left." Seyi swallowed hard. "What do you want from me?" The man tilted his head. "A ride. You owe me. You made the choice." Seyi shook his head. "I gave the coin to the river. I chose to let go." The man grinned. "And that's why I can ride freely now." Suddenly, the Okada started on its own. The handlebars jerked left. The throttle twisted. The engine roared. And the bike began to move. With Seyi on it. Without him touching it. They zoomed through the bridge like lightning, the city rushing past in blurs and shadows. Buildings melted. Streetlights bled red. The road below turned black like oil. Seyi wanted to jump off. But something pinned him to the seat, like the air itself had hands. Then he saw them. Other riders. Dozens of them. All wearing white. All silent. All with passengers behind them, figures that didn't belong. Some had no faces. Some had too many eyes. Some whispered things that made the wind scream. Seyi realized he was one of them now. He had joined the Midnight Riders. The ghost behind him whispered, "Every night we ride. To carry the forgotten. To balance the broken. You are the newest." "I didn't ask for this," Seyi said, teeth chattering. "But you chose," the ghost replied. "You threw the coin. You opened the door." The bike slowed. They reached the end of the bridge. And standing at the edge was someone Seyi knew, his father. But his father had died 5 years ago. There he stood, eyes full of tears, face full of pain. "Papa?" Seyi whispered. His father nodded. "It's not your time, son." Then, turning to the ghost, he said, "Let him go." The ghost frowned. He chose the path. "No," his father said, stepping forward. "But he still has a voice." Seyi stared at both of them, shaking. "What voice?" he asked. "Speak your truth," Papa said. "Speak it loud." Seyi's hands trembled. His lips parted. And for the first time in years, he shouted, "I never wanted this life. I didn't want to ride Okada. I wanted to draw. I wanted to be free. I didn't want to carry people. I wanted to create something that would carry me." His voice echoed across the bridge like thunder. The other riders slowed. The ghost looked at him, really looked, and something inside its face began to change. The hollowness flickered. Its eyes softened. And then the ghost nodded. "You've remembered your dream," it said. "And that's the only thing stronger than a curse." It stepped off the bike and vanished. Seyi collapsed onto the ground. The engine stopped. The moonlight felt warm again. The bridge looked like a bridge, not a gate to the other side. He looked up. His father was gone. Only a drawing remained. On the bridge wall, a charcoal sketch of a boy on a bike. And behind him, wings. Big red wings. Made of feathers.
Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories. Click the video on your screen to keep watching. Another great video story is waiting for you.